watch a live look over downtown right now where 3 days of country music and fun are about to kick off for the 2024 CMA Fest. But before you don the cowboy hat and the boots, Metro Police want to make sure you stay safe. So the department shared these reminders on social media today.
One of the biggest things is that you're going to be walking a lot. So you're going to want to wear comfortable shoes. The boots that you get here, they're awesome, but they need to be broke in. So you don't want to be one of these Broadway girls at the end of the night with bare feet on this nasty concrete. So wear some tennis shoes, wear some comfortable shoes.
They definitely need to wear sunscreen. I know this from experience. I'm very pale and I get burned really easy. Got to make sure you wear the high SPF.
If you see something, say something. So if you see some suspicious things going around, grab one of us. We'll be around the Nashville footprint all weekend. We're really friendly and we'll take care of it.
Good stuff. The festival officially kicks off tomorrow. And we got a guide to everything you need to know ahead of CMA Fest. Just go to WKRN.com and we'll help you out there.
Music Hall of Fame. And tomorrow's going to be a warm but dry one. We're going to look at a high of 88 tomorrow. So tomorrow you need to drink plenty of water. But Friday is going to be delightful. The front comes through and it's going to be lower on the humidity scale and the temperature. 82 for a high in the sunshine, the sunscreen in order on Friday. Saturday afternoon and evening, we may have some scattered storms. Most of them dying down after dark, and maybe some more scattered storms on Sunday.
If you are headed out to CMA Fest, as we go into Thursday afternoon, by noon, already 83, by afternoon in the upper 80s and falling back to around 80 by 8 o'clock. It will be mostly sunny outside. Now, rain chances return as we get into the weekend, and it looks like now Saturday and Sunday will feature showers and even a few thunderstorms. Nothing looks organized or severe at this point, but just want to reiterate, you may have to dodge a few in the morning into the early afternoon, especially west on Saturday, and everybody may have to dodge a few, especially morning into the afternoon on Sunday. So for your CMA Fest weekend forecast, Friday is the best day to get outside and watch. 82, low humidity levels, mostly sunny skies. On Saturday, we're up to 81. Yes, there'll be some showers around and maybe even a storm or two. And on Sunday, more of the same with temperatures in the upper 70s. But once we get past this, next week looks pretty good weather-wise as well. So your weather.
A cloudy start. Look at Bridgestone Arena camera looking live over the lower portion of the Greenway here, right outside of Bridgestone Arena and not too far from the Country Music Hall of Fame. Things are set for a very fun next few days.
Today is day one of CMA Fest, the longest running country music festival in the world and the best one, attracting tens of thousands of people from around the world to Nashville. Fans will get to hear their favorite artists perform live and have the opportunity to support Middle Tennessee students. Peyton Kennedy is live downtown and shares how local high schoolers are part of the action.
Nikki, good morning and happy CMA Fest to everyone. The Antioch High School Band will kick off CMA Fest this morning. It's a major moment for these students that all started as a surprise from one of the neighborhood's biggest success stories. Antioch's own Jelly Roll visited the high school about 2 months ago and let those students know that they would be kicking off the 51st CMA Fest. They will perform outside Music City Center between 6th and 5th Avenue from 8:45 to 9:15 a.m. The band's director, Frank Zimmerer, is a former CMA music teacher of excellence. He talked to us about the impact the CMA Foundation has had on his students and said all of the students' instruments were paid for by the foundation's donations collected through partnerships like CMA Fest.
The work that they're doing in the partnerships, again, it's leaps and bounds above anything that you can imagine when it comes to the support that we as band directors need for instruments, funding, transportation, you name it, to again, provide the opportunity for our students to serve their community, not just Antioch, but Nashville and the state as a whole.
A portion of proceeds from select CMA Fest performances go directly to the CMA Foundation and help support their mission of giving students quality music education and resources like those instruments. Live in Nashville, Peyton Kennedy, News 2.
Right.
Well, it's 4 days and 4 nights of country music stars, fans, sights, and sounds. We'll have reports from Nissan Stadium every night during the festival, and then you'll be able to see all those highlights at WKRN.com. Don't forget the TV special hosted by everyone's favorite, Jelly Roll, and Ashley McBride will air on June 25th right here on News 2.
Do you realize that before the CMA Foundation got involved with replacing the instruments in Metro Nashville schools, some of the kids in our inner city schools were playing the same instruments that their grandparents played
very special.
when they were in the band.
Yeah.
That's how old and worn out they were before. Yeah.
It's so special.
It's crazy.
I feel like it paints the picture of how important CMA Fest is. We see it as this massive performance, which is free. There's plenty of stages downtown, but a lot of the money does go right back directly into our arts programs, which are just absolutely crucial and could honestly pave the way for seeing one of our future stars performing here at CMA Fest one day. So if you don't believe it, CMA Fest is happening today, and I got the proof because you can see all the road closures that are already happening downtown Nashville. Here's the thing. There's a lot of road closures from Nissan Stadium all the way to the other side of the river. The main thing you should know, 1st Avenue, 2nd Avenue, and Demumbrian, avoid them at all costs. If you do that, you will just get to where you're supposed to go perfectly fine. As we zoom out this morning, you can see it's really quiet at 412 on this Thursday morning. No major issues to tell you about this morning. All is moving smoothly. In fact, we'll show you a live look outside. This is 65 and 24 on the north side. Everything just moving perfectly fine on this Thursday as we get our day started. We'll get you some drive times to get you out the door. We'll have a closer look at traffic coming up in about 10 minutes or so. But for now, if you're in Murfreesboro, you better hit the gas because it's 29 minutes, Spring Hill 30, Clarksville 44, and Lebanon 36.
So it's the 51st, excuse me, 3 ahead of myself. CMA Fest kicks off 300 or so performers on stages throughout downtown Nashville over the next 4 days. Peyton is down there where it will all be centered on Lower Broadway and joins us with what we need to know. Good morning. No bag.
Neil, good morning. This is the ultimate country music fan experience, and we have some of the ultimate country music fans already in line for it. There's really so much happening from sunrise to sundown. I'll give you a look at some of the stands that are up already this morning, some of the tents that you can visit. So much of this is free for you to experience, as well as the music, including the Chevy Riverfront stage, which starts this morning around 10 a.m. with Dylan Scott and includes artists throughout the day like Dylan Marlowe and Lauren Elena, and ends with Brian Martin at 4:45. The other free stages begin around 10 a.m. as well. They include the Chevy Vibe stage, the Dr. Pepper Amp stage, the Good Molecules Reverb stage, and the Hard Rock stage, all within walking distance of each other. So make sure you're wearing those walking shoes. And if you have a ticket to Ascend Amphitheater tonight, it's Curb Records' 60-year celebration. And across the river at Nissan Stadium, tonight's headliners include Raina Roberts, Craig Morgan, Jordan Davis, Ashley McBride, Shabuzi, Thomas Rhett, and Leonard Skinner. There are also a ton of meet and greets happening at Fanfare X inside Music City Center. That's also where you'll see Dolly Parton kick off the festival at 10:45 this morning. Now, if you're not lucky enough to have a ticket, there is a live stream on the CMA Facebook page. Now, again, fans are already lined up here to get to the Riverfront stage. They got here around 5:30. It's so cool. The fans that I interviewed, the same people that were first in line last year. Take a listen to why it's so important to them to be here.
We like to get in line super early because we like to be as close to the front of the stage as possible. It's really like, once you do it once, it's like every time you have to get in line early, you have to be up front, or it's just such a different experience. The interaction with the artist is just great, and pictures and everything obviously are better from the front.
And they're also braving the rain that's happening and the humidity that we've been feeling this morning, all to get that front row seat. Now, if you're headed downtown, I really recommend downloading the CMA Connect app. That's where you'll see an hour-by-hour breakdown of all of the performances happening here in Nashville, and you can pin certain performances so that you don't miss a thing that you want to see. Live in Nashville, Peyton Kennedy, News 2.
So there's some, thank you, Peyton. There is some shower activity in the forecast through the weekend there. CMA Fest has a number of designated shelters if it does turn stormy, perhaps. They include Bridgestone Arena, the Music City Center, the parking garage over there, and the underground garage of the Hilton Hotel as well. CMA will be using its social media platforms to keep fans updated about any weather-related delays that may be upcoming.
And we will have live reports from Nissan Stadium every night during the festival. Don't forget the TV special, also hosted by Jelly Roll and Ashley McBride, will air on June 25th right here on News 2.
All right, looking forward to that. Taking a look at team traffic for you on this.
As we begin next hour, we'll go back downtown where CMA Fest is set to get underway. We have a band from the area that's going to kick things off in just a little bit. We'll tell you all about that.
Today is day one of CMA Fest, the longest running country music festival in the world and the best, attracting tens of thousands of people from around the globe to Nashville. Fans will get to hear their favorite artists perform live and have the opportunity to support Middle Tennessee students. Peyton Kennedy is live downtown and shares how local high schoolers are part of the action now.
The Antioch High School Band will kick off CMA Fest today with a performance, and it's a major moment for these students that all started as a surprise when one of the neighborhood's biggest success stories came to visit them. So look at this picture. I'm sure you recognize who is in it. That is Antioch's own Jelly Roll, who visited the high school about 2 months ago to tell those students that they would be kicking off the 51st CMA Fest. They'll perform outside Music City Center between 6th Avenue and 5th Avenue from 8:45 to 9:15 a.m. today. The band's director, Frank Zimmerer, is a former CMA music teacher of excellence. He talked to us about the impact the CMA Foundation has had on his students, and he said all of the students' instruments were paid for by the foundation's donations, collected through partnerships like CMA Fest.
The work that they're doing in the partnerships, again, it's leaps and bounds above anything that you can imagine when it comes to the support that we as band directors need for instruments, funding, transportation, you name it, to again, provide the opportunity for our students to serve their community, not just Antioch, but Nashville and the state as a whole.
And a portion of proceeds from select performances and activations will go directly to the CMA Foundation and help support their mission of providing quality music education and resources like those instruments. And coming up in the next half hour, we'll talk about what you can expect today as some of the first fans line up here this morning to get in on all of the action. Live in Nashville, Peyton Kennedy, News 2.
Wow, they are already lined up and getting ready.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be a fun time down at CMA Fest, no question about it. Let's get you set with the forecast. Come prepared, come hydrated, because it is going to be a hot day today. As the clouds clear out this morning, sunshine, temperatures on their way into the mid and the upper 80s in downtown. It's going to feel quite humid for the afternoon. A cold front arrives tonight, and that's going to lower our humidity values. So tomorrow we're looking at temperatures in the low 80s, which will feel comfortable, but it's still going to be very warm with all that sunshine. And then this weekend, rain and thunderstorm chances are added back to the picture. I think the main day of concern for CMA Fest is going to be on Sunday. But for all of us, we'll have to keep an eye to the sky this weekend. We'll show you Future Tracker in just a moment.
Watching Good Morning Nashville on News 2.
It is day one of CMA Fest, and we're live downtown with what you need to know about the ultimate country music fan experience.
So the 51st CMA Fest kicks off with 300 or so performers on stages throughout downtown Nashville over the next 4 days. Peyton Kennedy is in the middle of all of it. Actually, she brought her rocker with her down there, right in the background there, where she rests between live shots for us. Peyton, that looks very comfy coat.
Oh, yes. Well, you know, it's grueling out here. It's about to be kind of crazy. So I needed a place to take a breather or so, because this is the ultimate country music fan experience. So, yeah, let me give you a look at what they have set up so far here. There are a ton of tents that will be full of different activations throughout the day and all weekend long, not to mention all of the stages where you're likely to see one of your favorite artists take the stage at some point over the course of these 4 days. And a lot of this is free, including the Chevy Riverfront stage, which starts at 10 a.m. today with Dylan Scott. It also includes artists throughout the day like Dylan Marlowe and Lauren Elena, and ends with Brian Martin at 4:45. The other free stages also start around 10 a.m. and they include the Chevy Vibe stage, the Dr. Pepper Amp stage, the Good Molecules Reverb stage, and the Hard Rock stage. They're all within walking distance of each other. Now, if you have a ticket to Ascend Amphitheater tonight, it's Curb Records' 60-year celebration. And across the river at Nissan Stadium, tonight's headliners include Raina Roberts, Craig Morgan, Jordan Davis, Ashley McBride, Shabuzi, Thomas Rhett, and Leonard Skinnard. There are also a ton of meet and greets happening at Fanfare X, that's inside Music City Center. It's also where you'll see Dolly Parton kick off the festival Festival at 10:45 this morning. Now, if you're not lucky enough to have a ticket, there is also a live stream happening on the CMA Facebook page. I really recommend downloading the CMA Connect app onto your phone. That's where you can see an hour-by-hour rundown of all of the performances happening at the multiple stages, and you can even pinpoint specific performances you want to see so you don't miss a minute of the action. Live in Nashville, Peyton Kennedy, News 2.
For those headed downtown, We Go Star will be on the move Saturday. The train will start in Lebanon and drop you off right at the Riverfront Station. Train leaves at 4 p.m. and heads back 1 hour after the concert ends. Stops will be made in Hamilton Springs, Martha, Mount Juliet, Hermitage, and Donaldson. Tickets are $17. 4 days and 4 nights of country music stars, fans, sights, and sounds. We will have live reports from Nissan Stadium every night during the festival, and you'll be able to see all those highlights anytime at WKRN.com. Do not forget the TV special hosted by Jelly Roll and Ashley McBride will air on June 25th right here on News 2.
Certainly exciting times. All right, taking a look at road closures downtown. If you are going to CMA Fest, a couple things you need to be aware of. 1st Avenue and 2nd Avenue downtown on this side of the river. I mean, if you can avoid it at all costs, I would encourage you to do so. Also, too, you'll see here Rep. John Lewis Way from Korean Vet to Demumbrian. That's going to already be shut down. It'll start really around 7 a.m., but honestly, if you can avoid it now, that's going to be better for you. The same is true for Demumbrian all the way from Rep. John Lewis Way to 6th Avenue. So really, it's just going to be this main corridor surrounding Bridgestone Arena. That's where a lot of artists are using that access point to get to their various stages that are going to be downtown. Now, the same is true for road closures on the other side of the river surrounding Nissan Stadium. You can see Titans Way. Really, the main areas surrounding Nissan are going to be shut down, of course, for those nighttime concerts. So think about it as like the side of Broadway. That's during the day. Nissan going to be the time at night. So certainly going to be both sides of the river going to be very busy from now until Sunday. A lot of these roads will reopen as we go into Sunday night around 10 p.m. Or even Monday morning. So that's what you're looking forward to. This crash just wrapped up over on Dominican Drive in Athens Way, so that's good news. Just a minor crash that we were following. Then, of course, as we look outside this morning.
The Antioch High School band kicked off CMA Fest this morning, performing outside Music City Center, which is a huge moment for these students. AC caught up with the band's director, Frank Zimmerer. He's a former CMA Music Teacher of Excellence. He says this all started as a surprise from one of the neighborhood's biggest success stories.
We actually were surprised by an Antioch High School alum, Jelly Roll, who visited our school about a month and a half ago, gave some encouraging words to our students, and then surprised the band at the end to say, hey, as the host of the CMA Fest this year, I can't wait for you guys to open up. So it's a great honor for our kids. It's a great honor for our community.
Zimmerer says the CMA Foundation has had a huge impact on its students, paying for all of their instruments. Local on 2 comes up at 2 this afternoon. Here's a preview of today's show.
Now, News 2 at 11.
Welcome to News 2 at 11. I'm Nicole Smith, and a special welcome to all the folks who are visiting here in town for CMA Fest. I know you want to know what the weather is like outside, so here's meteorologist Danielle Breezy with a quick update.
All right, Nicole, I want to show you this. We do have a mix of sun and clouds out there today. This is our Tennessee Lottery camera in Clarksville right now, showing a good deal of sunshine, and it's already starting to warm up. It is going to be a warm afternoon, so if you are headed to CMA Fest, make sure you're drinking plenty of water and wear that sunscreen. 81 right now in Antioch, 81 in Gallatin, 82 Mount Juliet, and 82 in Brentwood. But then you factor in the humidity, and it already feels like 85 in Nashville, 85 in Portland, 84 in Murfreesboro, and 83 in Camden. So it's a little steamy outside. Now, these winds will be shifting to the north and west as a cold front moves through the afternoon today, and it's a dry one, but it will get breezy, and it also will bring in slightly drier air as we head into the afternoon. So that's some good news. There's a system out to the west there. So for the rest of today, if you're headed down to CMA Fest, we'll be in the low 80s at lunchtime, upper 80s by 4 o'clock. And then if you're headed to Nissan Stadium tonight, we'll be right around 80 degrees. Now, I will say this, Friday looks picture perfect, but once we get into the weekend, rain and thunderstorm chances back in the forecast. We'll time it out for you coming up.
Back here in Nashville, tens of thousands of visitors are here because CMA Fest is now underway, the longest running country music festival in the world, attracting people from nearly 50 different countries. News 2's Peyton Kennedy is live downtown now with a look at the first activities getting underway. Hey, Peyton.
Hey, Nicole. Yeah, the music has started and CMA Fest is officially underway. It is packed here already this morning for day one. Right behind me is the Hard Rock stage, which is hosted right now by our very own Marcus Bagwell. And then you look to the side and you have the Riverfront stage, which is what all of these folks are walking into right now. Good news, there's no line. It's moving right along. Jackson Dean is performing, and next up will be Dylan Marlowe. And fans lined up for the Riverfront stage as the sun was just rising today. The first folks were from Maryland, California, and just down the road in Murfreesboro. They say the CMA Fest atmosphere is a can't-miss experience, and seeing their favorite artists up close is worth the early alarm clock. By 8 a.m., there were lines outside popular Broadway venues too, including Old Red, which is hosting Spotify House, which is its own series of daily performances. So yeah, on top of the CMA stages, a lot of the local venues host their own mini lineups. So odds are your favorite artists will perform somewhere downtown this weekend for free. And the line to see Dolly Parton at Fanfare X took the cake. It wrapped around the massive Music City Center. And if you missed Dolly this morning, the Fanfare X artists of the day for the rest of the week are Cody Johnson, Thomas Rhett, and Lainey Wilson. And I talked to one of the first people in line for the Riverfront stage about what it's like to get so close to her favorite performers. Take a listen.
From the second, you get there, you feel like a little kid, you just want to, jump and, get all excited because you're oh, I finally have my spot. Because, the adrenaline rush, getting there and, getting to your spot. I love that, everyone has, a half-hour block. So it's, you get to see so many different artists.
You really do. Just walking around here, you never know who you might see or who you may discover. Now, if you have tickets for the shows tonight, those ticketed events are at Ascent Amphitheater. Curb Records is celebrating its 60th anniversary. And then just across the river, you have Nissan Stadium for some major headliner acts. Live in Nashville, Peyton Kennedy, News 2.
Thanks so much, Peyton. And the Antioch High School Band kicked off CMA Fest this morning, performing outside Music City Center. A huge moment for all these students. News 2 caught up with the band's director, Frank Zimmerer. He's a former CMA Music Teacher of Excellence. He says this all started as a surprise from one of the neighborhood's biggest success stories.
We actually were surprised by an Antioch High School alum, Jelly Roll, who visited our school about a month and a half ago, gave some encouraging words to our students, and then surprised the band at the end to say, hey, as the host of the CMA Fest this year, I can't wait for you guys to open up. So it's a great honor for our kids. It's a great honor for our community.
Zimmerer says the CMA Foundation has had a huge impact on his students, paying for all of their instruments. We will have live reports from Nissan Stadium every night during the festival. And don't forget, the TV special hosted by Jelly Roll and Ashley McBride will air on June 25th right here on News 2. All right, CMA Fest is underway right now. This is a live view from downtown Nashville as the crowds are piling in. We'll give you a look at all the fun activities underway coming up next on News 2 at 11.
News 2 at 11.
Welcome back to News 2 at 11 on this Thursday. I'm Nicole Smith. Let's start this half hour by giving you a quick check of the forecast. Meteorologist Danielle Breezy is standing by, and people need to stay hydrated today, Danielle.
I was going to say, we've got a lot of sunshine out there, Nicole, for CMA Fest. It's going to be a warm one, though. Temperatures skyrocketing into the upper 80s. Feels like temperatures probably in the low 90s yet again. This is our Nissan Stadium camera looking out over downtown Nashville. What a beautiful city. You can see it's already filling up along the riverfront there. And temperatures right now already starting to tick up. We're at 80 in Smyrna, 80 in Bellevue, 84 Hendersonville, and 82 in Springfield. But then you factor in the humidity, and it feels more like 85 in Nashville. Already feels like 86 in Murfreesboro, 86 in Lebanon, and 84 in Dixon. Now, later this afternoon, the winds will start to kick up out of the north and west, so it will be breezy, and that will usher in some drier air finally as we head into your Friday. We've also got a boundary to our north moving on in. So if you are headed out to CMA Fest today, we go from the low 80s to the upper 80s by 4 o'clock, and then lower 80s by 8 o'clock if you're headed to the Nissan Stadium show. But rain.
CMA Fest officially underway now in downtown Nashville. News 2's Peyton Kennedy is live downtown with more on the fun that a lot of fans are having this morning. Hey, Peyton.
And Nicole, it really is incredible because you have about 300 performers in town just for CMA Fest, but you also have this music that is pouring out of every honky-tonk just as normal for Nashville. In addition to all the music, you have all these opportunities to have a photo op, and then all of the vendors that are along Broadway. You can get free food, free drinks, free skincare even, lots of giveaways. I certainly made my rounds a bit earlier this morning. And I want to tell you, it really was a treat for people outside of Music City Center this morning. The Antioch High School Band performed a 30-minute set, which included music by Antioch's own Jelly Roll. It is also amazing to note that all of their instruments were funded by the CMA Foundation, supporting quality music education. And we are well into performances now, and the festival only gets bigger tonight as Curb Records celebrates its 60th anniversary at Ascent Amphitheater. And then a handful of headliners at Nissan Stadium, including Ashley McBride, Thomas Rhett, and Leonard Skinner. And while fans travel to Nashville from all around the world to experience CMA Fest, I talked with one of the first people in line for the Riverfront stage. He lives here in Middle Tennessee, originally from California, so here's his perspective.
This is our third year coming. Being from the West Coast, the big thing out there is Stagecoach, which was a month and a half ago. Some of the kids went, and it's fun, but until you come here and see this is like Stagecoach times 10. So it's probably the best festival I've gone to.
Yeah, certainly a compliment for CMA Fest. If you don't have the CMA Connect app, I really recommend downloading that so you can stay up to date on all the action happening. And if you're just down here on Broadway, a lot of the places here have their own lineups that they're offering. Like, for example, right behind me is Spotify House at Ole Red. There's a line out the door, so get here while you can. But of course, this is going on all weekend long until Sunday evening. Live in Nashville, Peyton Kennedy, News 2.
Time already, Peyton. Thanks so much. This morning, Dolly Parton kicked off Fanfare X, welcoming country music fans from all across the world. Hundreds lined up to see the country music legend. You can see it here. And moments ago on social media, Dolly Parton herself announced she's taking her life story to a huge stage as a Broadway musical. Dolly's all-access pop-up experience at Fanfare X will be open through the weekend, featuring many of her global branding and merchandise items. She greeted her fans this morning with a trip down memory lane.
I was thinking back about the first time that I was ever at Fanfare. You know, they used to hold it over on our fairgrounds here. And all those years ago, I had my own little booth. And my sister Cassie was the head of my fan club. And we would sign every picture, take every picture anybody wanted. And I remember one time it came a big storm, and it just swept our whole stuff away. Pretty much swept us away, and it swept me right back to you right now.
If you missed Dolly, the Fanfare X artist of the day for the rest of this week are Cody Johnson, Thomas Rhett, and Lainey Wilson. We'll have live reports from Nissan Stadium throughout the festival, and be sure to catch the TV special hosted by Jelly Roll and Ashley McBride that is airing on June 25th right here on News 2.